Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and absolute thrill to have you, your guides, my guides of the universal energies with us today. A lot of new subscribers, so welcome. Absolutely fabulous to have you along for the journey. Quick blurb, I know most of you know this, but I have the two guides. I have Angus, who is also known as Meister. Meister is Scott Gaelic for Master, which is what him and I decided that I shall call him. He calls me Ben, which means student or naive child, so that's quite funny. And my other guide is Narin. Meister is he's a Scottish Celt from Roman invasion times of the UK. So we're talking around 2,000 years ago. He lost his life defending his village along with his wee daughter Saoirse at the time. And I have been told, I don't see him, I hear him. I have been told he looks like a young Mel Gibson, so I can live with that. My other guide, Narin, Narin is Warramai, which is the local First Nations people dialect in the area I live. It means respected uncle, and in the First Nations people, to call someone uncle or aunt is a great way of showing respect. He was, I haven't been able to place a time on him, but it was pre white man colonisation of Australia. He was a tribal healer, spiritual man, healer, medicine man, etc., and highly respected in his tribe. And I do see him. Absolute thrill to have him along as well. Both as immensely powerful as each other. Okay, now that I've got those introductions out of the way, and I'm Libby in the middle and I'm the messenger. So, do have to love it. Okay, I'm going to have a look in this particular reading. I'm going to use my runic tarot, and then I'm going to move to my intuition cards. I'm going to have a look at the relations between China and Australia. Now, it almost seems like the relations between China and Australia sets the relations for the rest of the world. Now, this is entertainment only. This is not investment advice or anything like that, but Australia and China are very close geographically. We are very close trading partners, and we in Australia are very westernised, so therefore we are a reflection of the westernised trading that goes on elsewhere in the world. So what happened with our previous government, our previous conservative government, like the US previous conservative government, had a falling out with China because of arrogance, and China decided, the Chinese government then decided not to trade with us anymore, which sent quite a few companies very close to the edge, because a good portion of our wine used to go to China. Some companies, 90% of their wine was going to China. Our fresh agricultural products, our beef, our lamb, our fruit and veggies, our wheat, our grains, our legumes, etc., and our coal as well. Now, we've got a new government in. Thank goodness, last year. So this is their second. We're coming up, I think, is it May will be their first year anniversary, with a brilliant foreign minister, Penny Wong, who has Asian ancestry, so she is very au fait with a lot of the nuances. Powerful woman. That's all I can say about her. She is phenomenal, incredibly calm. She would be very much a combination of the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. Fabulous. Anyhow, so she's been negotiating. She's been over a couple of times now, chatting to her counterpart in China, and the markets are starting to open up again. However, The issue is that those that got stung by the trade wars went and found other markets. So they're not necessarily interested in trading with China anymore because they possibly can't trust them. And then what's happened recently is that what's fallen out, the five of wands, the defiance at the stake, they're trying to burn at the stake. This is the infighting card. So, and what's happened is that along with many other countries of the world, Australia then declared that Chinese visitors had to test negative to COVID because of the allegedly lack of transparency in their COVID reporting. Okay, so it's all very convoluted, but also Australia backs Taiwan as staying independent, and so it's a very convoluted, difficult relationship that we have. However, thank you guys. What I'm really, as I was talking about that last bit, I really got to pull to the fact that in many ways, not absolute, but many ways, China is as reliant on Australia as Australia was on China. We have the world's best coking coal, the least polluting, the most efficient, but also our fresh produce and our farming methods. I'm just getting the feeling that China, after shutting us out, has realised how reliant they were on what Australia can produce for a little country at the bottom of the world. So what's thrown out here? Okay, what we've got here is also Ukraine has popped out here. The defiance of Ukraine has planted. Now this is a 10. This is the 10 of Wands. So usually it's the is it the burden card? But this isn't a burden. It's planting the seeds of the possibilities for the future. So I think what's happened in Ukraine has made China really reassess. Okay, now I've gabbled for long enough. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'll do a full Celtic and then I'll move to the intuition cards. The relationship between Australia and China, now, past, going forward. Excuse me for 2 seconds. I'll just pop down and pick that up. And I think that's the boys telling me time to stop yapping and start drawing, because they've given me the Wheel of Fortune. Fate, destiny, karma, old doors closing and new doors opening. Can be karma coming back and biting them on the bum as well. But let's have a quick look. I didn't ask from either side. I'm just asking the relationship between. So we've got this Wheel of Fortune. And it is turning with whom was on top is now on the bottom, who was on the bottom is now on top. And this really reflects back on that flash that I got from the guys, Narina Meister, not sure which one it was, showing that there is this realization that they are reliant on us as much as we were reliant on them. Okay, challenged by 2 of Wands. It is about making a plan going forward. The second may just be the second signifier, but it is about coming together and making a plan to move forward. Base of this reading, the Tower, perfect. The breaking down of how things were done to rebuild anew, which is exactly new government, new foreign minister, one that actually understands foreign policy, unlike the previous government, and this is the destruction of what was to rebuild the new relationships. In the past, Ace of Wands. It is about a new start, so this is about the election of the new government with passion and plan, but what's really drawing me is these flames in the background. The inferno of what was is no longer as we move forward. to a new beginning. Okay, ten of Cups. Yeah, negotiations around the table, celebrating between friends. It is about the ending of a cycle as well, being again another 10. But it is about, basically, cheers, negotiations working out. Okay, immediate future. 7 of Wands. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be some defensiveness that's going to have to be overcome. And I'm thinking this is defensiveness on behalf of China, entertainment only. Defense, just having to accept what went on rather than trying to defend it. Okay, externally, the Star of Hope. Yay! Restoration, respite, Love Tower, Star of Hope, protecting what is actually sacred. Internally, 9 of Wands, setting new boundaries. Very much. Internally between the two countries is a setting of new boundaries of what is acceptable and what isn't. Here we have the Page of Wands. This is the hope and fear. This is my Ukraine card, purely because of the sunflowers and the determination of the youth and the sun rising behind them and pointing their sword defiant. They're not their sword, their wand defiantly forward. And this is about communications and plans and passions. So it is actually a new beginning, a youthful beginning between Australia and China. But I'm also going to read the fact that Ukraine standing up to Russia has made the Chinese government rethink how they how they interact with the rest of the world. Okay, the outcome, a plan coming to fruition. So we have the plan being formed here. This is the ship coming in. Trade continuing. New start, stepping forward in faith and hope. 5 of Swords. This is lies and deceit. Beware. However, it's something unexpected coming out of left field. This tsunami in the background. But we have the Knight of Wands as well. The Knight of Wands and the Temperance. Okay, so we just need to be, both sides need to be aware of some deceit that may go on, some lies that might be told, but they are going to get exposed. And then we have the Knight of Wands, which is an inspired messenger bringing forward, leaping through these flames, so overcoming these flames. And then we have Temperance, which is about rebalancing, working together, partnerships. It's going to come, full illumination. Okay, so there's going to be full honesty between, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is the end of a financial cycle, to bring forward a new cycle. Okay, so things don't look too bad. That sort of reinforces what the boys were dumping on me. In case you wonder why I don't do, I know a lot of readers do predictions for the coming year. I'll say, I predict in 2023. If I open myself up to my guides to do that, I literally get like a truckload of cement dumped in my head. The brain just goes overload and it clogs up. So forgive me for not doing so. I just don't. I mean, I could sit here and say, yes, some famous people will die. Yes, there'll be some floods. Yes, there'll be some drought. Yes, there'll be. But it's not. There's going to be people die, there's going to be floods, there's going to be drought, there's going to be famine, there's going to be earthquakes, there's going to be volcanoes. and that is not me being authentic. So those of you that asked, really appreciate that you asked, but it's not me. Okay, that was a little bit of a quokka moment as we fast move into a feminine era. The coming forward of the feminine. Now that doesn't mean females rising up and taking control. It means that we have been in such a patriarchal, masculine society for really the last 2,000 years. We're now moving into a more feminine society, and yeah, celebrate it, embrace it, bullseye. And then there was the scales after that, so it was all very much about balancing. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at, put that aside, that was a little bit of a out there tangent. Tell me about the relationship between Australia and China going forward, Australia and China going forward, Australia and China. So I think it's going to be pretty positive. There is going to be a change of, sorry, I've got things falling out everywhere, that's just sloppy shuffling. A change in attitude on both sides. Okay, come on down, let's have a look. Right, now these are my intuition cards. These are the ones I'm working on at the moment to bring to you if you're interested in them. And they're designed to tell a story. Sorry, I'll just close that so they're a little bit more visible. Lightning bolt. Dramatic things happening. For the good. Amongst the rule. An uncomfortable message that needed to be brought forward. Oh, interesting. The death and ending of the hard work that is stopping the relationship. It actually was a lot of hard work for China to stop it, because they are now acknowledging, as they are aware, how reliant they are on Australia products. Okay. The people, the masses in the country, can be agriculture, comfort. Out with the out with the gossip. Just this behind the scenes manipulation. Okay, to put it a different way, to put it in a feminine term that I understand, out with the bitchiness. So the masses find comfort in the agriculture. Can be my rural, can be my country. When I'm talking, this is when I'm talking about other countries. But what I'm thinking here is what it is that the attacks. Okay. This is about the reliance on Australian produce. And the getting rid of the behind the scenes animosity, gossip, bitchiness, fate, destiny, karma of the this is like a devil card. I do have a devil card in the deck, but this is like a devil card about ambition and greed and avarice and capitalization and it's about greed basically. Dark cloud and anger. Okay, right. Thank you. There will be some who have taken advantage of this situation who are not going to be happy. I wonder who that is. I'm getting, for some reason, I'm getting Russia, Kremlin, Putin in my brain. Thank you, boys. Is that this realization of a reliance for the comfort of the people on trade between the two countries. And because of that realization and that shift in mindset, the bitching going on behind the scenes is going to be outed. And those that have taken advantage of the lack of trade, the disagreement, are really not going to be happy about it. Okay. Celebration, technology. Okay, this is about an opening up of technology via the leaders will lead to abundance. Interesting. Abundance, bravery, big bravery. Go. Okay. So basically, the leaders of each country. Now, this might be the foreign ministers. I'm not sure. This is someone in a if I say a regal position, even though I'm not talking about a monarch here. The opening up of technology, but also communication, modern forms of communication. It is to be celebrated that the modern forms of new communication will open up via the leaders and lead to abundance. It'll take a lot of bravery to do this, for things. Okay, thank you. And it will okay, not exactly what I wanted to see. And for all systems to be go, we are going to have to overlook minus some of the peace options that we would prefer. This is human rights potentially. Okay, so the slowness of the world movement is going to end. Strength, health, past, drop in the ocean, destruction, rebalancing, bullseye. Okay. So as you can tell, these cards, they talk back and forth in a row. You really need to, if you do order a deck of these cards when they come out, I'll do some reading specifically with them to show you how to use them, but this is very much about you need to put the row out and read the row as a total, and you will know when you're laying them out where an end of a row is. So we've got stop and go. These are very definite endings of that idea in a row, or that particular story in the row. So what we've got here is the slowness of the supply chains around the world are going to dissipate. Strength and health. Oh, okay, and bring about strength and health. In the past, the drops in the ocean of this destruction that was going on is going to be rebalanced, and bullseye. They're telling me bullseye. We've got technology, restriction, evilness, masculinity, fast, light bulb, convoluted. Yeah, so this is basically telling me that the restriction on technology, held by the few that have ulterior means that is mainly masculine, will fast change as the light bulb is opened and we work through this convoluted path that we have to. We've got the noise of love is at a crossroads. Is at a crossroads. Yep. So I think it's going to be okay. There will be, what it's telling me is there will be opposition to progressive movement forward from those that have had made money, had power, whatever, through this lack of trade, but things are going to move forward in a positive manner. Okay, that was a little bit long. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.